Well, let's go live to Bern now and speak to the economist and energy analyst Cornelia Meyer. Cornelia, thank you very much indeed for joining us. How do you assess these decisions being made by the Swiss government?
Well, they're unusual, but it's not the first time. Switzerland did take sanctions out on Syria, and they did at some stage on Iran. But what was unusual was the wording when the president of the Confederation said it is part of neutrality to stand with democracies, is part of neutrality to stand with human rights. That was quite unusual, and I think that was a shift of how Switzerland is defining armed neutrality. So it's, a lot has changed since that Thursday night that the tanks rolled across the borders on many ways, but also on how Switzerland defines neutrality.
But I imagine if you take a position on, for example, assets belonging to President Putin or Sergei Lavrov, you might have to take a position on assets belonging to other people in the world who also have dubious human rights records.
I guess that's something that's a bridge that the banking system will have to cross when it gets there. More immediately, what probably people are worried about, or there's a big energy trading community here, commodities trading community here. 35% of all oil traded in the world sort of is somehow or the other linked to the Swiss market, Geneva and Zug. 50% of metals, 60% of metals and 50% of sugar. So there is that element to it as well.
I've only a minute, but I must ask you, is there a political debate about whether this is the right thing to do? Do some people think Switzerland should stick to their original definition of neutrality?
I think there is, yes, and I think that is why also the Federal Council took so long, the government took so long to decide, because traditionally Switzerland is a good interlocutor and a good mediator of such conflicts, and once you take sides, it's harder to take that mediating function.
Cornelia, thank you very much indeed for joining us. It would be good to talk to you a little bit longer length another time, but thank you very much indeed. There's Cornelia Meyer live with us from Bern. Just before I wrap up this hour of Outside Source, to confirm 12 members of Russia's UN mission have been expelled from the US, according to the Russian ambassador. Back with you in a few minutes for another hour of ongoing coverage.